the way I see it in the future, I think there's a significant shift in the jobs that we will be providing. The jobs will be not in the repetitive, monotonous type of jobs, but the jobs will be related to designing new machine tools, programming them, servicing them, learning new technology.
But can you see the man that you let go who takes one piece of metal and off one rack and puts it on another, who can be retrained, or whose replacement can be retrained in 3 days? Can you see that man being trained to be a designer?
In some cases, yes. We have an awful lot of people that have the, not all, but a lot of them have the educational background, and those that have desire, there's absolutely nothing to stop them to get the training and get the education to equip them for some of those new jobs that after all will be here in the future, whether we like it or not.
They're a fact. We've had to live with that, and there's been a feeling among workers and among the union people that, yes, we can't fight that kind of argument. We can't argue on that kind of implementation of technology because, in fact, that's what the products of tomorrow are going to be built with. And there's going to be a usage of space. We think that the human factor has to be taken into it. Certainly none of those robots are going to buy any products. So what do we do to equip people for work? We say retrain them. Retrain them for what? What jobs are going to be created that people are going to be able to perform? You know, we might talk about the people being able to sit at home and have some kind of government funding where they can all take it easy for the rest of their lives. I don't think people want to do that. People haven't been equipped from birth to sit back and not do anything in their lives. They've got a brain, they've got to be useful, they've got to be using their bodies and their minds together. So we're going to have to find some answer to it.
For every robot introduced on the line, up to 6 jobs can be lost. But Achmatowicz feels more demanding positions are created to service and maintain the robots and the technology that accompanies them.
A lot of our skilled tradesmen who are maintaining the robots and generally looking after them, in order to do that, had to undergo massive training in new things like electronics, like pneumatics, hydraulics, in order to service these machines. This is new training, additional knowledge, and generally people feel good about it.
So new jobs have been created?
Yes, sir.
Some of the companies have said that when they introduce a robot into the line, it means a creation of jobs elsewhere. Have your workers seen that?
No, and it surprises me. A lot of manufacturers, a lot of companies have said that it's going to create jobs. We haven't seen that. I don't know of one company that has experienced an actual creation of jobs, certainly not in the auto industry. So when they bring in the robots, we in fact lose jobs, we lose people. The only areas they might create jobs are in the companies that are building robots.
Robots make more economical workers than humans. The facts are cold but persuasive. Initially, robots are expensive, between $40,000 to $150,000, but once installed, they cost about $6 an hour to operate. Compare that to auto workers who make close to $20 an hour. Employee wages in General Motors increased 200% during the 1970s, while robot costs increased by only 40%. The Canadian auto worker may be pricing himself out of the market.
Canadian labor rates are pretty high by the world standards if you compare that to the rates that the Japanese, who are our chief competitors, to what they pay. Even some of the European countries. I'm not all that familiar with the European rates, but certainly Canadian labor rates are high.
Are you willing to say that the Canadian auto worker is pricing himself out of the marketplace?
Definitely not. I think in the October 11th edition of the Financial Times, they had it put very, very clearly that Canadian manufacturers cannot use the argument on pricing, where in fact most of the industrialized nations in the world, their costs are higher than ours, and they can't use the argument that Canadian workers are lazy. And this is not a union publication that is saying that. And in most of the management-related publications, they are in fact saying Canadian workers are not overpriced, and they're not lazy. What we do lack is automation, technology, and management systems that in fact make us competitive.